Hi, this is Eclectic Vicky. I'm making my return video. This is my second one. And I'm going from Greenville, Texas to Garland, Texas. And I'm going to take a more scenic route. This is going to be going down 66. I'm on 69 right now, turning on to 66. And I hope this road is not too rough, because some of these roads are kind of rough. Adjusting my camera a little bit, which is kind of hard to do. I'm sitting there doing it, but still a little bit tough to do. So, alright, well, we're on 66 now. Right out here is quite a lot of mechanical kind of stuff, engine repairs, that sort of thing. I don't really know what all kind of businesses are out here. There's the Department of... There's the parole office. I didn't know that was there. I don't come down here real often, even though I actually like it. But it's more scenic, definitely, than I-30. Definitely more scenic. Moving my camera a little bit. I hope it doesn't cause a lot of bad video. Whoa, railroad track. Probably should have slowed up a little bit. Looking around a little bit, because I really don't pay much attention to this here, out here. Road may get a little bit better. I know they've done some road construction out here earlier. That's for sure. There's kind of a house that's got a lot of stuff out front. A lot of stuff. Since it's country and it's not, except for in the towns cut and rolled up into bales. Anyway, I like driving out here. Sometimes I come here. There's several different ways I can come here, and I know pretty much all of them, so I like to come different ways sometimes. Boy, that truck was flying. He must have been going about 90, because he is way down the road now. I can't even hardly see him. He flew past me. Some at my home. There's one in the front yard and one in the backyard. One in the backyard is just up next to the house. The one in the front yard is in my flower bed. I was really tickled. I think I might have dragged it home from when I did some of my Texas wildflower videos. Okay, well, this is Caddo Mills, or at least it's the beginning of it. Caddo Mills is named after the Caddo Indians. They were living in this area before the white people came. The white people came and settled it in about the 1850s. And the Caddo Indians were sometimes peaceful, and then they were sometimes warring. Their two main enemies were the Sioux and the Osage Indians. The Osage Indians are now in Oklahoma, and so are the Caddo Indians. The remainders of their tribes, their descendants, are in Oklahoma at the reservations there. And the Sioux, their other main enemy, they're more in North Dakota or Montana. So this is basically just a little bit of a hole in the road kind of town. They make that joke saying if you blink, you'll miss it. It's not quite that small, but it's pretty small. So something interesting about the Caddo Indians is they did not have teepees. They had large beehive-looking houses made out of grass, and they were sometimes as much as 50 foot tall. And they would sometimes have 2 or 3 families living in them. So they were very large structures. I'm sure they were really interesting. A lot of people think that all the Indians lived in teepees, but they didn't. They didn't all live in teepees. So it's really interesting, the Native Americans in Texas. When I was in high school, I read a book about Native Americans, and it was really, really interesting because of the huge variety in their tribes. And actually, I don't think it was Native, just Texas. I think it was American Indians. So, anyway, there was a huge variety in their tribes. They, had completely different rules. Some had similar rules, and some had totally different rules. Some things were acceptable, like sharing your wife, and then in other tribes, if you if your wife cheated on you, it was like a death sentence to her if she got caught at it. Just different things like that. The levels of peacefulness, the levels of warring, what they ate, what they grew or didn't grow, that sort of thing was it's very varied. Anyway, it's very interesting. One website I looked up when I was looking up a little bit of information about Caddo Mills, I found it's Texas State Library, and that is an interesting site to find out about Indians. So that was Caddo Mills. This is the suburbs of Caddo Mills, and we're gonna be going into Royse City next. Brushy Creek Resort. And I don't think that's been there just a really long time. I never remember it being there. It's full of travel trailers. Looks pretty full to me. One reason I like to come this way is because there's not a lot of traffic. And as I said, it's more scenic. So there's some goats. I don't know if they came up in the video or not. Another bridge. I don't know if these are actually creeks or if they're just low-lying areas. At any rate, there's quite a few bridges over here. That was Hunt County. This is Collin County. There's some really nice houses back in that little subdivision area. All right, this is Royse City, and this is pretty cool downtown. The downtown area is very quaint. In 2000, there was about 3,000 people here, and now there's probably 26,000. So it's had a huge spurt of growth. It's gotten a little bit of national recognition on account of their events, activities and events. Well, the sun kind of came out in a big way, or I don't know, or maybe there's less trees to shade it, but it was a little overcast when I left. Not bad, but just a little bit. So I think up here on the right is a school, and it may be all of the schools put together, the elementary, the middle school, and the high school. Kind of thinking it is from what I remember. Let me look over there and see what it is, but I think it's all three of them. It's Awida Bailey Middle School. No, it's just the middle school. Awida, I hope I say her name right. She must be a local, well-known person, past or present. So we're getting into the beginning of Royse City. It's spelled R-O-Y-S-E. A lot of people, even the ones up here, mispronounce it or misspell it, and they put R-O-Y-C-E. I'm sure it's very annoying to the people that live here. I think I've even misspelled it myself, although I basically know better. All right, now we're going into Rockwall County. And Rockwall County is the smallest county in Texas, and Royse City is in Rockwall County. Here's some kind of granary on the right. And we're coming into the actual town at this point. Bump. Was it kind of a dip in the road there? And I need to be going 30. So I just love this little town. It's just super cute. Here is a vintage church that's real pretty. It's First United Methodist Church. It's Royse City Bulldogs. And there's some eateries here, which are, it's a pretty trendy place. The post office is on the left of me right here. Here is Luigi's Italian Cafe. I'm sure they have some great food. A lot of these small towns really do have good food, because it's about the only thing that can get anybody to come to them. So, this Milano's pizza is very good. Arbolita's Mexican Grill. Yeah, it's pretty fun looking here. I have not eaten here, I don't think. Well, I have eaten at the Milano's Pizza at a different location, but I don't think I've ever eaten over here in Royse City. There's a meat market to the left. As you can tell, most of these buildings are old. This is interesting over here. It's called Native Station, and it's Beer Garden Cafe. It looks pretty trendy. So that is the downtown area of Royse City. There's here's a smoke to the left is a Smoke Sessions barbecue. It looks pretty trendy. Up here is a nice little park, and it has like a little wave pool. There's probably some kids over there right now. Frosty Hut is servicing them with ice cream, no doubt. No, there's no kids at the wade pool. In fact, it's not on, so I don't know why not, but it's not on, so. Alright, well that's Royse City. That's the downtown area. It goes to the right and the left of this road, and some of it even comes out to over there at I-30. I-30 is not a huge jump from here. It's probably only a mile or two. Probably a couple miles over there. I've actually crossed over there to get on 30, but I don't really remember how far it is. But it's not very far. I can't see it from this road, but it's just a hop, skip, and a jump, as they say. Pet Resort. Yes, this is Fate. We're in Fate now. So the reason it's called Fate is because one of the founders his name was Lafayette Brown, and his wife called him Fate for a nickname, and so that's how the town got its name, Fate, Texas. Comes a giant trailer house, and it's pretty big. I think I'm gonna have to scoot over. It's a half of a double wide. It's an older one. It's not new, but it was kind of taking up a chunk of the road. As you can see, this is just a 2-lane road. So. Well, I thought I was gonna have to stop. So this is some kind of, what is that? Oh, it's the City Hall. That's the City Hall. It's a nice housing area here. These people probably commute to Rockwall or maybe Dallas. They may go all the way into Dallas. It's real pretty right in here. To turn. I think I'll spin around in here a little bit. I've never been over here. I guess. I don't really know where to turn here. I guess I'll go this way. This is a little part of Fate, which I wasn't even aware of. I mean, I passed it, but I didn't. I haven't ever really actually been over here, so I thought I'd spin around here real quick. I need to get over here. There's a gas station, grocery and gas station. Everybody has to stop, so that's handy. This is probably what you would consider downtown Fate here. There's some kind of pharmacy, hairdresser, pizza factory, Department of Public Safety, a couple more restaurants. All right, it's super tiny. Fate is literally just kind of a hole in the road thing. If I can get back over to 66. Pretty trees here. Here's a nice little lot. If you're not from Texas, that right in front of us is a pecan tree. Pecan tree, which we don't say pecan, but some people do, but native Texans don't say pecan, we say pecan. Oh, and also on a sad note, we don't say Uvalde, it's Uvalde. Alright, well, it's a four-way stop, I believe. So I'm first, I get to go. Alright, now we're back on 66. Well, I never really stopped in over there, I don't think so. New adventure for me. Alright, Rockwall, as you can see, is only 5 miles. Must be trash pickup day. Because we have trash out here. Trash cans. Definitely not somebody that just left their trash cans out here, because there's a whole bunch of them, so apparently it's trash day. See, isn't this much more scenic than the other one if you happen to watch it? Here's a nice little man-made pool thing over at this nice housing subdivision. Oh, that's very nice over there. There's a model village. They have a model village. Huh, that's interesting. I guess they have 3 or 4 houses that are just, you know, where you can look at them. 5 or 6, whatever different ones they have. The model, their particular models, houses, however many they have, is probably the little village. So big. You can't see it in the camera, but it goes pretty far back there. It's a huge area there. At one time, these houses were probably just way in the country, and now they're not so much in the country anymore. For sale, 96.134 acres. That's a lot of land there. A lot of land. That's a pretty color of this Colorado. Kind of a burgundy. Well, not burgundy. It's like a, well, I don't know what you call that. Cranberry red or something. Pretty color. Here's the City of Rockwall Municipal Court for your tickets. Garden Center to the right. Hey, this land, this property over here, there's some really big spreads to the left of us. Great big tank. A lot of people don't know this, even Texans, but Texas only has 2 natural lakes. The rest of them are man-made. I forgot what they are. I might try to mention that in another video, but I don't remember what lakes they are, but there's only 2 natural lakes in Texas. Well, this is Rockwall School, but I wouldn't think that school would still be going on this lake. This is a thrift store on the left. I've been there a few times. It's really nice, but I just don't ever find anything I like. It's a super nice store though, and has nice stuff, but I guess it's just not junky enough for me. All right, well, we're coming into, I actually kind of like the junky ones. We're coming into Rockwall. This is a real pretty little area. Just really lush and green, has big trees, some really old houses. I really like it. well-kept area here. Quite a lot of vintage houses. They're not super old. They're probably 40s, 40s, 50s. Well, there might be some super old ones, but most of them are just, they're just fairly vintage house ones. That one there is pretty old. To the right, it's actually pretty old. So, all right. Well, we're just gonna keep on rolling around in here. I really like this little spot here. These neat little houses. Well, they're not little, but I'm gonna go ahead and go down this way. I'm not sure I'm still on 66 or not, but it's pretty trendy down here. The eateries are pretty trendy. This Sonata to the left of me, which I don't guess you could really see it, but it's very trendy. To the right is the courthouse. Sorry, choking here. It's to the right of me here. I think I'll actually stop this and take a picture of the courthouse while I'm here. I'm going to do a Texas courthouse one eventually, which will end up being 3 or 4 of them because Texas has probably 300 counties, so it's a huge state, so it's going to end up being quite a few. Well, I'm still sitting here in the Rockwall County courthouse parking lot, and I wanted to say something else about Rockwall County before I try to get out of here. This rock formation that they found underneath here is really strange looking. I mean, it looks like a stacked wall or something. It's 20 miles long. And there's been a debate all through the years on whether or not it's natural. It's just really, really unusual looking. It really looks like somebody built it. And anyway, there's some people that think it's natural. There's other people that think it's man-made. But of course, if it's man-made, it was made really, really long time ago. All right, well, I'm about to head out. This area that I'm coming into, I acquired a book. Yeah, I acquired a book. It is a vintage school book. I just wanted it. It's like a elementary school book. I love it. It's called Peacock Lane. Anyway, that's one of those little free library things where you put your books and you take a book and then you can give and take. Free library. I like those. I've never actually participated in one. I've done the pantry thing, but I've never done the library, the book thing. Okay, it's just really pretty here. I've been here quite a bit. My former boyfriend and I ate over here quite a bit at that Zanadas, so I might actually drive over there where we could see the Zanadas. It's just a restaurant, but it's really upscale. It's not super expensive, really. It's not real cheap, but it is really upscale. It's very great atmosphere, wonderful kind of pizza, that's I forgot what they call it, but well, I still can't see it. It's to the left there. There was an ice cream store there for a while that was super popular, but Does it look like it's functional now? In this building right there, the old building. So, alright, well now we're all the way around the courthouse and going back on, we are on 66, I wasn't sure. Oddly enough, they point you towards 66 and then when you get to it, they don't have a sign that says, okay, you're here. That's I've got some heavy stuff in my seat and it's making my alarm go off, you know. The person's not buckled up. Of course, there is no person there. Alright, so now we're coming to Lake Ray Hubbard and we're going to be able to see it much better this time. You go over it on 30, but this is going over it in a more direct, well, it's a direct way on 30 too, but you're going to see it more, you're going to see it better coming this way. Today it looks pretty green. I said in my other video that the lake is weird because sometimes it's pretty and sometimes it's not. The water really changes in the way it looks. Sometimes it's just really horrible gray looking and then other times it's bright blue and it's got a little bit of brick or something. Not really brick, but stones on the road there and made a big rumble. Well, gas over here is $4.69, which is the way that was the gas was $4.69 at in Greenville too, and in Garland when I left it. So we're going over the lake now. It's a nice, lovely green today. It's got a nice little walking thing here with walking path with a barrier, concrete barrier to kind of help protect you from the cars. And there's a lot of people that walk over here. I guess they're not doing it right now because it's starting in the heat of the day. At any given time, usually in the evening or morning, you'll see a bunch of people walking up there. Yes, the water is just really a lovely green today. Well, there's a guy. He's jogging along. I don't think bicycles are allowed. I think it's just walking or running, you know. I'm not sure. I've never seen a bicycle person over there, and I suspect you're not allowed to do it. So, as I said, this is Lake Ray Hubbard. It's a man-made lake. But it's a nice lake. And today it's a lovely green. There's another walker. And here's another walker. Coming into Rowlett. Rowlett probably has, I would venture to say, 30,000 people. I don't know for absolute sure, but it's definitely in line with the Rockwall and Rowlett are the two bigger towns. Fate, Royse City, and Caddo Mills are the tinier towns. Rowlett was the site of a bad tornado 5 or 6 years ago. I mentioned that in my first video. It was the day after Christmas. It may have been more than that. It may have been 6 or 7 years ago. You know how time flies. But it was a pretty bad tornado over here. It also affected Garland, but just kind of the outskirts of Garland. It literally came down, sort of down skipped over a bit, and mostly landed in Rowlett. You can actually still see some of the damage here and there if you drive around the neighborhoods. It hit a lot of the neighborhoods. In a second, I'll show you where it mostly hit. I'll just point it out. Back there, I think it was a church. It said sixth trumpet about to sound. I wonder if that means what that means. I'll have to look it up. You know, some people and even myself have kind of wondered if we're not in the end times, because we have so much violence going on and so much disruption. Inflation is really getting totally out of hand. I mean, we don't seem to have any relief in sight. So a lot of the tornado hit on this road. This is Chesia. I guess, I don't really know how to say it. I think it's Chesia. A lot of it was over there to the left. There was a chunk of it over to the left, and then up above the street, still to the left. There was a lot of the damage was over there. And I was working at the time, and one of the guys I worked with, that he didn't work with me at my job, but he was working down the hall. He lives down this road, and he didn't come to work for a week. And I never did ask anybody that he worked with, you know, if he was personally affected or not. But he was affected, even if it didn't hit his particular house, because it was a terrible mess over there. They probably didn't have, I'm sure they had no utilities. The area was probably cordoned off. And so he was affected, even if it wasn't his specific house. So anyway, all to the left of this up here had a lot of damage over there. And then up to the part, we're going to come to a toll road in a minute. Up to that, and then back over to the far left, where it's by 30. It's scraped into Garland through over in that area. There was some apartment buildings really damaged. So anyway, it swept kind of along I-30. Basically, it came over the top of it to knock 7 or 8 cars, or maybe even more than that, off of the bridge, and killed probably 7 or 8 people there. So I don't remember what the death toll was. It was probably 13 or 17 people, something like that. But the damage was really bad, and it took a long time before it got better too. And there may still even be some. The last time I went and explored it, which was probably a couple years ago, there was still quite a bit of damage. There were houses that weren't repaired. I don't know if they didn't have insurance or what. However, there was a lot of donations. People should have technically had enough money to do the repair. So we are probably still in Rowlett technically, but we're headed over towards Garland. So alright, well, I think I'm going to end this video, just because I don't really see any need to keep going here, and it's already going to be kind of long. So alright, I'm going to pull over safely and disconnect. Well, I hope you've liked this so I hope you've enjoyed it, and check back with me later for more videos. If you like my videos, please subscribe, and then you'll get notifications. Do the notifications thing on how often you want a notification, and then you'll get notifications that I've made another video. Now, at the moment, I'm just getting started, so I'm just just videoing anything. It's just basically practice. But I do plan in the near future to be doing a lot more traveling, and I'll have a lot more travel videos. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video.